What is up, everybody? It's your boy Young Fizz, aka Mr. Dope Status on Instagram, and welcome back to another video. So there's a lot I want to unpack with this video, but I do not want to be too long-winded today, but I do want people to be more cognizant of what they're buying. So that's why I want to give my perspective, because there's been a lot of hype, with the influencers really hyping Logic Pro up for the iPad. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today, the Logic Pro for iPad. So if you like content like this, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. You can always comment if you disagree with me, or if you agree with me, or if you, whatever the case may be, you can voice your opinions and all that stuff down below. And we're going to go ahead and get right into it, right? So the first question I want to ask is this for you? So this is the Logic Pro for iPad. And I want you to really pay attention to the language. So it says the ultimate music studio at your fingertips. Let me read that again. The ultimate music studio at your fingertips. Let's look at that word that says ultimate. Ultimate means the best, achievable, or imaginable of its kind. So in other words, it's the achievable or imaginable music studio at your fingertips. So what does that tell me? Basically, imaginable means they're selling you a dream, right? Achievable. They're saying, hey, this is achievable, but it may work, it may not work, but here you go. So the ultimate music studio at your fingertips. Got the nice little graphic there. It looks cool. It kind of looks like the Logic Pro for the desktop computers, which is cool. Scrolling down, it says, make beats, play instruments, record, edit, and mix all on iPad. Create and produce music in any genre. A complete pro music studio in your hands. Okay, let me stop right there. A complete pro music studio in your hands. That's a big claim. When you think of a pro music studio, you think of room acoustics, you think of outboard gear, you think of instruments, you think of musicians, you think of a lot of stuff at a pro studio. And they're saying it's a complete pro music studio in your hands. So let's go ahead and continue. It says, watch the film or try it for free. And then they, bam, hit you with the price. Get 1 month free, then pay $4.99 a month or $49 annually. So in other words, it's a trial for 1 month at $5 a month, or you can pay $50 annually, which means yearly. So they're basically saying an ultimate studio at your fingertips. They hit you with the graphic. They're saying all the stuff you can do, and they say, bam, all for $50 a year or $5 monthly. And that sounds crazy because that's cheaper than OnlyFans. That's crazy. A complete studio that's cheaper than OnlyFans subscriptions. Apple knows how to work. So let me go ahead and continue here. It says an all new creative interface made for touch. And for me, I would hope it's made for touch because I am on the iPad. So I'm just going to go ahead and glaze over that. I'm not going to even pay attention to all that. So touch to play, showing some cool graphics. You can touch to play. Talks about, the instruments you can touch. Looking at the plugins here. Project navigation, okay. GarageBand import. So I guess you can take files from GarageBand and import them into, Logic Pro. And then you can use your Apple Pencil to draw an automation or make other edits, which is pretty cool. So that's all that's fine, right? So it says fresh sounds, endless inspiration. Let me say that again. Fresh sounds, endless inspiration. Quickly find and discover new sounds. Wait. Let me stop right there. They just got done saying fresh sounds, endless inspiration. And then they hit you with the word quickly. So what am I saying here, right? So endless inspiration, that means you keep going on and on. That means there's a lot of stuff in here, right? And then they got that followed by the word quickly. Find and discover new sounds, keeping you in the creative flow. And get inspired by an ever-growing library of instruments, loops, and patches. Ever-growing means it continuously, right? Without an end in sight. That's what ever-growing means, right? Continuously growing, never ending. So this might explain why the subscription is on this particular iPad, right? Why we have the iPad subscription. That's what that's telling me. So let's go ahead and continue down. And let me see here. It says browse discovery. Okay, so they're just showing you browse discovery sound library. Okay, cool. Play on with Pro plugins. All right, there's that language I'm talking about again. Play on with Pro plugins. Shape the sonic character and tone of your music with hundreds of powerful instruments and effects. So they're saying Pro plugins. I'll let them slide right there because, Logic Pro, they're used in studios and they have good quality plugins that can compete with other companies. So, I'll let them slide there. You can touch the EQs and EQ it. That's cool. So let's go ahead and keep scrolling down. We have Sample Alchemy, software instruments, and then it says effects. Okay, let's park right here for a second. It says tweak and shape the personality of your tracks with signature reverbs and delays, as well as vintage EQs, compressors, and modulation effects. Let me read that one more time. Tweak and shape the personality of your tracks with signature reverbs and delays, as well as vintage EQs, compressors, and modulation effects. For a subscription that's less than OnlyFans, you're telling me that it comes with hardware? I don't think so. So I think what they're trying to say is emulation. I think what they're trying to say is as well as emulation of vintage EQs, compressors, and modulation effects. I think that's what they're trying to say. But let's keep going. Make the beat top the charts, right? So again, they're inspiring you to buy. Top the charts. Just make the beat. You can top the charts. They're selling you inspiration. What did I say earlier about the whole dream? They're selling you a dream. Okay, so now I'm not saying that a genius kid out here won't be able to make a beat in Logic Pro and top the charts. That's not what I'm saying. It's possible, especially with social media. In today's world, anything is possible. Anybody could become a platinum producer using these tools here. So I'm not saying it's impossible. Will it sound good? Maybe, maybe not. It might be up for debate. All right, so let's go ahead and continue here. We got Beat Breaker, Quick Sampler, Step Sequencer, Drum Machine, Live Loops. Go over here. Okay, so this is cool here. It's showing you what it has inside, what it can do. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Level up your mix. Adjust faders and other controls intuitively with touch, just as you would on a real mixing console, and speed through even the most demanding mix. Wait a minute. So you're telling me, let me read that again. Adjust faders and other controls intuitively with touch, just as you would on a real mixing console. So now you're telling me it's fake. So why didn't you tell me that earlier that it was fake, that you're selling me a dream? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, right? So now you guys are starting to admit that it's all virtual, right? These are emulations. It's not real. Okay, so let's go down here, right? So we have Pro Mixer, then we have the touch controls and track stacks. But keep in mind, it says, there's that word again, Pro. I didn't have time to go over the document and see how many times they use the word Pro. But it says Pro Mixer, touch controls, and track stacks. And they go ahead and show you what track stacks is all about. They're showing you the drum kit mix and what consists of the individual elements of a drum kit. They're showing you that it's the kick, the snare, the hi-hats, and the percussion. And then you have the stack that goes into this purple here, which is like the folder. All right, so it says advanced features for pro workflows. There's that word again, pro. Advanced features for pro workflows. So now I'm asking myself, well, what is the advanced feature? And the only one that I could really find is the sidechain. So I don't know if that's what they're referring to, like the mixing advanced feature for pro workflows, because sidechaining is a little bit advanced. I will admit to that. But I was trying to find what that means, right? So let's go back to the beginning here where it says round trip compatibility. Easily move your Logic Pro projects between Mac and iPad to create in the studio or out on the road. Wait a minute. Let me read that again. It says easily move your Logic Pro projects between Mac and iPad to create in the studio. Wait a minute. Didn't you just tell me that? What did you say in the beginning, right? The first thing I was saying that this is an ultimate music studio at your fingertips. That's what you're telling me. It's at my fingertips. So if I'm on the road, I should have my iPad. I should have the studio at my fingertips, right? And then it says right here, a complete pro music studio in your hands. That's what you're telling me. So you see where I'm going with this here? You gotta really read it word for word and understand what they're trying to tell you. And so that's why I say, who is this really for? So let's keep on moving though. Audio unit extensions. Tap into compatibility third-party instruments and effects right in Logic Pro projects. So in other words, they're basically saying, hey, we're going to let you use our audio unit extensions. But I don't see any mention of VSTs. Can I use the VSTIs and the VSTs from third parties? But they're saying audio units from Eventide, FabFilter, and Moog, and they are located on the App Store. All right, so studio hardware. In other words, they're just basically saying you can plug in an audio interface, but wait, not any audio interface. You have to plug in your favorite gear using compatible third-party audio interfaces, right? So I said, don't glaze over this stuff. You got to actually read the fine print, right? Plug in your favorite gear using compatible third-party audio interfaces, MIDI interfaces, and controllers from leading manufacturers like Apogee, Focusrite, Novation, Universal Audio, and more. All right, so next, Ableton Link. Got the sync playback tempo with hundreds of link enabled apps and devices. And then, of course, like I said before, the sidechaining routing, right? The sidechain routing. And these are the advanced features for pro workflows. All right, so now they say questions, answers, right? How much does it cost? Well, we already got that established. And we got which iPad do I need to use Logic Pro for iPad? You can install Logic Pro iPad on any iPad with the A12 Bionic chip or later, an iPad OS 16.4 or later. So this right here is the new Logic Pro for iPad. So what didn't they mention here, right? Well, one of the things that I think about when I think about Logic, I think about its huge sound library. They mentioned the sounds, but did they mention how much storage you're going to need to have all these sounds? They didn't mention nothing like that. What about my storage? Well, wait a minute. Let me guess. Don't you guys have a cloud storage? So I could probably expand my cloud storage so that I could store my sounds in the cloud and access these sounds from, my cloud storage. That's going to be another cost. Or I could use a SSD drive that I'm pretty sure you can hook to your iPad. I have the iPad M2, so you can hook external drives to the iPad, the Pro models at least. I don't know about the other ones, but I know for the Pro, you can hook the SSD drives to the iPad Pro, and I have the M2 model. So I know that if I download this, it'll work for me. But again, they didn't mention anything about storage, right? So again, you have to ask yourself, is this for you? Is this something that you want to use to make beats? Is it for the middle school kids that need something to do, want to get into music production just to understand just a little bit? Is it for the professional producer? Is it for the hobbyist person? And so this is the kind of stuff that I like to put out just so people can become more cognizant of what they're getting into before they get sucked into subscription plans and stuff like that. So I hope you found this to be valuable. If you did, hit the like button, comment down below. If you like content like this, hit that subscribe button. It's your boy Young Fizz, aka Mr. Dope Status, and we will see you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in, and we are out.